Hi there. Welcome to Unspeakable Leadership, a space that transcends time, borders, and barriers to reclaim our stories as women of color, leading in organizations, communities, and in our own lives. I'm your host, Rohene Bouajram. With a 20-year career trajectory of leadership, an aspiring storyteller, mom of a son and a fur baby, first-generation immigrant, an uninvited guest in Canada, I want to thank you for being on this journey with me. Let us grow together in conversation. Welcome back to Unspeakable Leadership. I'm your host, Rohene Bouajram. Now, I usually wait to let you know what the theme is for this season 4. But you know what? I am not going to hold the suspense any longer. Why? Well, season 4 is a love letter to the moment you stop asking for permission. The theme is simple and complicated at the same time. She crossed the line. You know, in thinking about this theme, I had to draw on a number of memories. And there's a memory in particular that I'd love to share with you. It's one that I've shared a little bit about in a few seasons before this one. I remember my first race. I was in second grade with tiny legs, running on a big track that felt like it wrapped around the world. I don't quite remember the distance that I ran, but what I do remember was that the energy was full, the air felt thick, and the noise level, well, if you've ever been to a track meet, you know how loud they can be. Excitement carried me to the first bend, but at the second, doubt met me. And then came the coughing and the wheezing, that tight, high sound that steals confidence first and oxygen second. You see, being raised and going to a British-ruled primary, what we now call elementary school in Zimbabwe, meant that choosing not to run, choosing not to participate in sports or any sort of exercise, it wasn't an option. So I ran with lungs that were learning the language called asthma, long before a doctor would give it a name, impacting my life for several years. By the last bend, my legs burned and my vision blurred. Tears filled my eyes, mixed with a bit of the dust from the track. And I just remember realizing in that moment that I was the last runner on the track, dead lost. The part of lost that feels like both a spotlight and a tunnel all at the same time. And then I heard her, my mother. "You can do it, Rohene. Just cross the line." Again, louder and louder. "Just cross the line." Some parents joined her, and like a wave, I heard these little echoes of cross the line, cross the line, cross the line. Each call felt like a hand on my back, and it gave me the wings in my lungs and also in my legs to finally, as late as I was and as lost as I was, I crossed the line, the finish line. I hold that little girl in my heart as she reminds me that arrival is not the point. Crossing is. So here we are. Now, last season, we explored something similar, but also slightly different. We explored her next act. We listened to women step into versions of themselves and their lives that they had been feeling whispers and hearing whispers about. And today we take those whispers and walk them across a threshold, a line. Now you may be wondering, what is this line? And to be honest, you, me, anyone listening or watching will have a different interpretation. And it's my hope that with enough interpretations, we can enjoy this season together. The line can be a rule that someone made for you without your consent, a ceiling, a script, an expectation that asks you to fit a mold. The line could be a promise that you once made to yourself and that you find yourself breaking each time you are scared, tired, or praised for being perfect, for which the default feels much more comforting than shedding that unknown. Sometimes the line is invisible. Other times it glows in neon and is policed by compliance and silence. But here is what I do know. The line is real enough to shape your life if you let it. Crossing it is the moment you decide to stop living as an interpreter and start living as an author. It is when you move from learning the dance to teaching it in alignment with your own breath and beat. So, this season, you will hear from amazing women who crossed lines and were at times never meant to cross those lines. Voices will crack, mine included, because growth has a sound and it isn't always pretty. But clarity has a light that you cannot mistake. So, if you are standing at the edge or close to that line right now, this is for you. Maybe you are in the in-between, shedding skins that once protected you and now only itch. The new you is not yet steady, but she is awake. Maybe you crossed months ago and now you are counting the cost. You are facing the fallout. You're building a life that can hold your full weight. Or maybe, just maybe, today is the first time that you've said out loud that a line exists and that you are ready to walk forward. Wherever you are in your journey, I would like to offer you some grounding prompts to help us start. If you can write them down, reflect, journal on them, great. If not, just hold these prompts in your body throughout our time together. 1, what line have you been trained not to see in your life and your leadership? 2, what is the cost of staying on this side for one more season? 3, what support would make crossing feel responsible, not reckless? And lastly, 4, when you cross, who are you becoming and what practices will sustain her? As you listen to this season, some episodes will feel like a hand on your back, just like my mom, just like those parents who cheered me on in my first race. Other episodes will feel like a mirror that you cannot ignore. All of them point to one truth. You are not crossing alone. We never have to do this on our own, my sister. So, look out for the experiences that will be shared, a new language to adopt that matches your worth, tools that you can put in practice right away, and a framework that moves us past desire into action without erasing your humanity. Let's begin to cross out the old stories and write new ones in the margins until the margins become chapters and the chapters become a new way of living. I'm your host, Rohene Bouajram, and I welcome you back with open arms to Season 4 of Unspeakable Leadership, She Crossed the Line. Let us redefine the faces of leadership together. Hi there. I just had to pop in to let you know something. I have a gift for you. Leadership can sometimes feel lonely and complex. So check out the resource page on my website and download your free leadership journal or strategic planning guide. I always welcome feedback, so let me know how they support you. Enjoy.